the upper Kananaskis Lake here.
Let's do it, Ashcapades!
Hey, thanks for joining me. I'm on a waterfall hike today. Yeah, beautiful view behind me here. This is the upper Kananaskis Lake here. It's also Peter Lougheed National Park. And up here, beautiful hike here up to Surreal Ridge, which was one of the most bucket listed hikes in the region here for Albertans and a lot of people in the world. So I'm hiking this way here through all this jagged fallen rock, which obviously has made its way down from up here. So we're looking at winter freeze and thaw. It gets into all these cracks. You see the cracks here. You get winter thaws, water gets in there, snow gets in there, ice expands, contracts, and the next thing you know, you have rocks coming down.
Now, unbeknownst to me at this time of filming this video, there was a catastrophic rockfall that happened.
And the next thing you know, you have rocks coming down.
About a month later, in the Bow Glacier at the Waterfall, which I had personally hiked only a year before myself, and what a terrifying an event it was. And I'll do a video about that later and show you where I was hiking and the experience I had. But you know, unfortunately there were fatalities, and a few people were taken to hospital, 3 people I believe, and treated, and they did recover. On this hike, luckily I wasn't in that kind of danger. I was in a beautiful area that did experience rock falls in the past, but at this time, I mean, it could be a year, 6 months, 10 years before there's another kind of rock fall like that. Luckily on this day I wasn't affected, I was safe. I will do a video on that later. It just seems to be topical to bring up at this moment, as I was bringing it up in this video and illustrating the freezing and thawing. But I'll carry on with this video now, and we'll head off to this beautiful day I had in the spectacular Rocky Mountains, and I had a perfectly wonderful, safe day. Well, somewhat safe day, let's say, but we'll talk about that later.
And yeah, it happens often, right? It's not going to be something that happens like every day, but it's going to happen yearly for sure. It's a cute little family coming up to me. So today I'm heading to some waterfalls, and I was hoping it would be a little busier today. I was looking for a little bit of company today, but I didn't want to go with anyone today. I'm one of those kind of like secluded weeks where I need to just be in my own space and take things in a bit and just tap. Sometimes you need to check out. You need to just tap out and be in your own space. So I've done that. to say hello. Oh, let's go check out my shoe. Oh, can I come up my shoe? Oh, he's gone. How cute was that? So just cross paths here with a cute family here. You can see them up behind me, and 3 young ones, and super cute. Parents have like full packs. So I don't know if they were camping out here or if it's just a day trip. I guess they've got a young one, so they probably need to pack, you know, diapers and stuff like that. But they're all walking. One of the kids was crying and holding her head. She'd had a fall and banged her head, so I just kind of tried to give her some encouragement. Oh yeah, well, it's a good way to wake up. You know, if you're feeling a little tired, just bonk your head and I'll wake you right up. And no jokes, but she looked at me like I looked crazy. But who knows, it might lighten it a little bit. Try to get levity if I can, you know. I don't bring a full like emergency pack with me, like a medical pack, because it's just a small hike. I'm only 3 hours out, 4 hours. So 2 hours, you know, away from trailhead at any time, but you never know. So I carry some tissue along with me just in case. You can always stick it to a wound if you get a nicked knee or something. And I'm gonna head on down here on my path, continue along. This is my beautifully, where does it go? It goes, gotta work on my, where does it go? It goes, oh, there it is, right there. I've never done the weather before. All right, heading on. A really cool spot here. You can see where quite possibly an ancient glacier sat in this spot. You can see the depression in front of me here, and then the ridge that goes across to my right here. All this broken and crumbled stone that would have been at the base of the glacier being pushed and piled along the valley floor as it pushed and receded and went forward over millions of years. All right, I'm away from the crunchy foot noises of the shale, so it won't be so loud in the camera. It's amazing how the iPhone picks it up. It can be pretty loud. So today I'm using my iPhone 14 Pro Max, and didn't bring any of my tripods and gear today, of course, because I've been out for a few weeks and you forget. It's amazing how quickly you forget to pick this stuff up. And sometimes I have it in a ready to go bag. I just grab and go. So I'm at this point here, the stage of the hike, still by the lake, which is absolutely stunning, right? I mean, and it's so quiet, listen to this. You can hear me breathing. You hear that? That's how quiet it is. Loudest noise is my breath. So I haven't been out for a few weeks. So here's a beautiful, beautiful spot. Look at that. I'm out here walking in the Kananaskis, just outside Calgary, Alberta. Took me about an hour and 45 minutes to get out here. Come from the Highway 1, which goes across Canada, and down the Highway 40, which goes towards the Kananaskis. There's the Kananaskis Lodge, there's the golf course, right? The ski hills, Nikiska. Annie
We
Smith
have
from Switzerland.
in second place, Marielle Thompson from Canada. And in first place, our winner today, Hannah Schmidt from Canada.
They're kind of the closest, mountain resorty kind of area to Calgary. But, for the real eye-stopper stuff, you want to head out to Banff Lake Louise. But trust me, I'm in the Peter Lougheed Provincial Park here at the Upper Lakes. And I'm hiking to a waterfall at the end of the big lake. And I had went past all the G7, the G7 or G8, I think it's G7 this time. What happened to the 8th? I don't know. Got kicked out, what happened? So G7's out here. So they're getting ready to lock that down, I think Tuesday. And it's Sunday today. And I could see them already out on their ATVs, the RCMP, Canadian police, running all along the roadside in their ATVs, doing their scouting routes, getting to know it. So that was interesting. And for those who don't know, in some countries you have different categories of government. Like in the States, we've always heard of, the CIA and the ABCDY, whatever else there is. Everybody knows about the FBI. Then you have your state police, right? And you got your city police, your private, right? Canada doesn't work like that. We have major cities have their own police and they're governed by the city. And cities obviously have their own laws, that kind of thing. But Canada-wide, we have Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the RCMP, and they literally cover everything. So they'll cycle out of different responsibilities. So there'll be a traffic cop, they'll be at the desk, they're running crimes, they're running drug investigations. They are the bodyguard to the Prime Minister when they get called for a date that the Prime Minister needs them, right? So they do a pretty wide range of things. So there they were in their little four-wheeler dune buggies, look like golf carts, whipping down the side of the road. No license plates or anything, right? But it's interesting. So I'm out here at Peter Lougheed doing a hike, which is one of the most breathtaking places in Canada, to be honest. It looks a lot like the Alps, or if you wanted to go to Peru and see the gorgeous mountains there, Patagonia, it's kind of in that category out here. Absolutely breathtaking mountains. Talking and walking, I tell you. Yeah, it's really breathtaking out here. Hike I'm on now, though, is more of woods. You hear that? Woodpecker. What if I can see him here? Stop in the shadow here. You guys see above me, there's a tree with a hole in it. And I heard the woodpecker, but I think he's a little farther away. But, oh, no, there's a bird just flew off from that tree. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera around. If I zoom up here, you'll see there is a nice big hole here in this tree. Top of it's died. The woodpecker's taking advantage of that. Made himself a little hole. I haven't seen any action out of it, but I did see a bird fly off from the top of that tree. But sometimes I'll stop and look because, well, you never know. They could pop out at any time. Okay, so no woodpecker. That's fine. I might hear him again. Or we might hear him again. Or her, I guess. Yeah, so I can hear the river here, just up ahead. And I'm assuming the waterfalls are not too far away. It's not a huge trip here. You can see the meadow here. This is where the river runs along. I didn't hear the woodpecker again, but I did come across this gorgeous little I love it when the trees do a reveal, you know? There's a term in photography, doing a reveal, you know? That's where you're like at a tree or an obstacle, and you open it up and flow past it, just like this. Isn't that cool? Yeah, so I'm just above the river now that flows into the upper lake, and you can hear the falls already. And look, it's just opened up. Look at that little vista. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, it's places like this that just make me wonder, what happened to the stumps, right? I mean, they've been clearly cut and felled. That's not been done by beaver. And that could be the answer right there. That could be the answer. Forestry may have come in and taken all these trees away to stop beaver from building dams. I'm sure they do it all the time. But obviously a floodplain here. So possibly opened up for access of some kind, who knows. But it is odd when I see that. So definitely coming up to the falls here, which is my day destination. It's not a big day, not a busy day. I got up about 7:30 a.m. today, and I got to the house about, I don't know, 8:30-ish, maybe a little later. I guess a little later. I went and got some Tim Hortons, as we Canadians do. I got a cinnamon raisin bagel and with eggs and bacon, and it's got butter, and oh my God, it's so delicious. It's one of the best sandwiches on earth, I swear to you. It's Tim Hortons. How would you know? And of course, the fantastic Tim Hortons coffee, which is just the best coffee for just an everyday brew, really. And here we are, we're at the meadow, which is really gorgeous here. Yeah, so I got my Tims, hit the road, hour and 45. I'm out here. I mean, last minute decision. I was thinking about maybe going out north of Calgary. It's only about an hour and 15 to Trailhead. With one I wanted to go down, a beautiful mountain meadow hike up just above, I guess just west of Longview, where actually, yeah, I was actually on a set filming only a couple days ago. Can't tell you what set it was yet, but it is a Western that's been filming out here in Alberta for several years and is coming to an end. So that's all you get. And yeah, am I going to be in it? Definitely, 100%. You're going to see me in the show when it airs. I'll put a link down later when it gets published. I can't actually talk about it or share any photos or anything like that now because we've only just shot it. So I can't tell you. But I've been on it before and didn't make it on camera. So this time, I'm definitely going to make it on camera and then in a shot with one of the main characters. So here's the waterfall up behind me. Can you see it? It's right there. It is. Doing my weatherman job. So that's the waterfall right there.
been in the water before.
was going to jump onto this rock, do a cool shot, and I realized that's a wet rock. And we all know what that means. That means kersploosh into there. Been there, done that. So we're gonna go this way. I thought that would be a fun video, but no thanks. So I'll jump down to this rock. There we go. And I'll put my foot here. And on the, oh, that's very bouncy. That's gonna break if I step on it. So I'm gonna break this stick so I don't gouge my leg. There we go. Whoa. Hey, there's a bit of a beaver dam down here. Not a real one. Whoa. So there I was being all fun and clever in my little sidewalk along the river. And I thought I was being clever, not stepping on the slippery rock. And I was just going across this tiny little, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 foot bit of wood, right? Like a little dam of wood. And I guess I must have lost my balance a bit. And I put my foot down, and of course, it went straight down. So it went straight down right up to here on my left leg. So I've got wet shorts, and I have my sock off, my boot there, and my liner just sitting in the sun. And totally fine. I mean, what a laugh. And I thought it was still filming, so I actually filmed falling in, and then I showed myself stuck. And I was all the way up to my hip down in the water, and my other leg was completely out, which is funny. And I put the camera down and kind of videoed myself, I thought, coming out, but I must have hit, my thumb must have hit the stop when I fell in, so oh well, a little bit of a funny video. So I thought I'd sit up on the rock there, but it's not hot enough, like the rock itself hadn't heated up enough, and I thought maybe over here I can find a rock or some wood that's been sitting in the sun for a while, and it can help radiate heat up into my sock. But I use a it's a 2-ply, like a 2-layered sock. It's to stop friction, right? Really great runners use them. It's a runner sock, and I also use them for hiking and whatnot, and they're perfect for hiking. I'll see if I can put a link in the video for it. Why not? Because if you don't want blisters, this is the kind of sock you want to wear. Fantastic for running, walking, hiking, you name it. And I usually carry a spare pair with me, of course. And but oh well, it's only about an hour and a half, 2-hour hike out. And my intention was to hang out here and just enjoy sitting by the water, which is incredible. I mean, the view is amazing here. And I'm kind of liking the way that the camera set up my shot here. I did a close-up of my leg to start this shot, and then I've moved up to me, and it's kind of blurred the background out. You see that? So it's giving me a really nice kind of portrait effect, and it's making me look really good. So, wow! Don't believe the camera, guys. It's all, it's not real. I'm really not this handsome. It's all fake. It's all CGI. No, I'm kidding. And of course, there's black flies. They're very interested in my bloody leg here. But I think they're just normal flies. Luckily, not black flies. Those things are like deer flies, horse flies. They're huge. But anyway, I've got a beautiful spot here. I'm just by the bridge that I filmed earlier, and on this side here, of course, I've got the creek flowing by, which is really beautiful. There we go. There's the creek. It really wants to focus on me. Yeah, it does. I'm gonna have to go back into my settings and find out. Oh, look, there's a fly there. You see him? Let's see if I can film him. Oh, he's gonna land on me. I have to go into my iPhone settings and see what I did here.
It's obviously gone into some kind of portrait mode. I might have it on cinematic. I don't know. We'll find out. Looks good though. So I'm just gonna sit out here, listen to the water flow by. There's butterflies, flowers, people running by. You see the guy run by? Jogger. Running around the lake would be a really cool day jog because you can actually run all the way around the upper lake as well, or hike it, whatever. Out here in Peter Lougheed Park, it's absolutely just, it's a stunning, gorgeous place. There's so many hikes up here. Some of my favorite hikes are up here. Like hiking up to Surrail Ridge is a bucket list kind of hike. I can't even remember anymore. I'm terrible at remembering names. So I'll put a link down below to the Peter Lougheed, and I'll put a link to the All Trails too. Why not? You can see it if you're seeing this from somewhere else in the world and don't know about it other than my neighborhood. Oh, see that? Oh, look at that. There, look, oh. What's that? Here he is. Where you go? Wow. There's two of them. Two little butterflies just fluttered by. The little blue ones, they're about this big. I think, yeah, about that big. Always around my foot. Just landed on my foot. You see him? Here it is. Right here. Oh, wow. I don't know why, but these little things just happen to me. Earlier, I stopped to look at the lake, and of course, I don't know if I've got this before, but a little squirrel walked up to me, and he hopped on my boot, and was checking me out, seeing if I had any snacks for him, probably. So that's pretty cool. So, yeah, these kinds of things really do happen out here. It's a little bit like Disney out here with the animals and the creatures. And Disney wasn't making stuff up. They were just taking snaps from real life experiences. I don't know, who knows. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to my little spot here and shut the camera off for a bit, have a little bit of water, let my socks dry. And that's the thing though, just going back to the socks, it's okay if I put the sock back on because it has that dual layer. I probably won't get a blister just because it's got that removal of friction, which is pretty cool. And here comes another one. Look at that. This one likes the camera too. Damn, these butterflies like the camera. They are not shy. Anyway, I'll put it back on and I'll hike out. Like I said, it's only about an hour or 45 out, maybe 2 hours. And I don't think I brought my sticky blister stuff with me, but I might have it in my pack here. We'll have to have a look at it. Anyway, gonna head off and watch butterflies. So I'm leaving my little nest here by the water. Got my boot dried as much as I can. Listen to the sound. How it just disappears. It's like the roar of the water, and then all of a sudden it's the peace and tranquility of the forest. It's quite miraculous. Miraculous. So I've just left my little peaceful spot, and my sock dried out almost completely, and my boot as much as possible. Can't expect it to dry out completely, but luckily the insert, the footbed, was able to dry out completely. So dry sock, dry footbed, that's a win. You can feel the boots a little bit damp, but oh well, what can you do? Price you pay for slipping into the water. But I do it all with a smile and a laugh. It's all fun. So heading back to trailhead now and
beautiful path along through here in the trees. Here, I'll turn it around. All the needles on the ground, making a nice soft carpet. Some of the walk is very spongy and springy in places. And then of course you get into that shale and it's crunchy and noisy. Not good filming trail. This is just a beautiful day today. It's about 20 degrees Celsius, be about 24 later in the afternoon, which is a nice warm day. Started out the morning if you wanted to head out for a hike earlier. Yeah, the morning started at about 12, 13 degrees earlier in the morning, and warm up as the day goes on. The late afternoon is the hottest, so about 24 today. So it's actually perfect hiking weather. You know, you can hike up through the trees here, and it's a nice coolie breeze. Nice cool breeze. And then by the water there, you can either sit in the sun and bake, you know, get nice and toasty, or sit in the shade and be a little cool. So it's kind of the perfect day out here in the Kananaskis. And as I'm walking back, I'm thinking about the G7 that's happening out here in the Kananaskis this week. That starts on Tuesday. Be interesting to see what other setups they have along the road as I exit out. I guess they're having it at the Kananaskis Lodge. That makes sense. And of course they're going to want to golf, because I mean, the Kananaskis golf course is in one of the most breathtaking valleys. I mean, if you're a golfer, that should be a bucket list spot, because you'll be golfing in some of the most beautiful scenery. And it's a popular spot for local corporations to go out to and whatnot, but also internationally. A lot of people come in internationally for conferences and that kind of thing. So quite a spot. So this got me wondering about the G7 and what they'll be talking about, and hopefully they'll experience a little bit of peace while they're out here in Canada in our absolutely breathtaking great outdoors. And hopefully they're smart enough to take in Banff and Lake Louise and maybe Jasper while they're out here, because it's insanely beautiful. And to come all the way here and not go there should be a crime. They should all be locked up. That's how amazing it is. It's a crime to not explore if you come up this part of the world in Canada, because it's insanely beautiful. And people do, they come out from everywhere, all over the world. Banff and Lake Louise gets millions of visitors. It's amazing. And I'm gonna hike into the trees here, give my arm a rest. Well, that's pretty much the hike here, and it's got me thinking about my editing. So editing for the video here, and editing and sound, right? Today I didn't bring any of my microphones, nothing. I'm just running completely off of the iPhone. And so I gotta start stepping up my game now. And I'm back to this breathtaking view. Isn't that insane? Just beautiful here. How can you go wrong, eh? Ooh, whirlwind. So, I have songwriting experience. So, my little song I do at the beginning of my videos, that's me. I just made that up and sang it into my iPhone and then used it. It's just acoustic guitar, my vocal, no editing. So somewhere along the line, I actually, days later, weeks later, months later, I started thinking, well, why don't you just turn that into a song, right? Like, hit the studio, put a few guys together, get a producer engineer behind the desk, and like bang out an actual song, right? And I could do that in a couple hours. It wouldn't take very long. With the right musicians, it's incredible what you can do. But yeah, I started to get, instead of just like, let's do it, Ashcapades. That would be part of the song, like maybe the chorus or something, I guess. And I expanded on it, so I got this whole song going. So I haven't done anything with it or put it down, laid it down, recorded it, even written down words yet. So I just know I can come back to it and go, okay. When I'm ready, I can bang a song out from this little snip that I have for my video intro. So no worries about copyright there for all you video makers. Check this view out. I do have a little bit of sound recording equipment from my years of doing that. I do have experience doing analog recording. Like, I recorded everything. Long before it became super normal, I actually recorded my drums in a Roland drum machine, used the entire memory of it because I wanted it to sound real and alive, right? Did the bass track, multiple vocal tracks, guitar tracks, mixed it, right? Balanced it, whole thing. Produced it, engineered it. And believe it or not, I got airplay. I got played on the radio. First time I heard myself, it was pretty cool, actually. How you doing? It was Tragically Hip, my song, and Smashing Pumpkins, which was pretty awesome. And I have to say that the radio announcer knew me from doing shows around town. And she knew what kind of music I like, so she did that on purpose, which is pretty cool. So I'm back here again. Look at this view. Well, the sun is really high in the sky now. It's definitely hit that 24-degree area. But with no wind, it feels like 30 for sure. It's definitely hitting there. My water bottle is getting hot. So, looking forward to the end of the trail here. I think I might need a beer at some point. I think I'll pull out my cushions for my garden furniture. I may actually mow the lawn first. Get that full kind of like, effect, right? Shouldn't take too long. But the garden's in bloom. Lots of flowers out. I've got clematis and my lilies are starting to pop out. I just had some snow lilies that came out and they're gone already. Yeah, but lots of clematis, lots of purple, and other plants are growing up pretty strongly. So it's a beautiful place to sit in the garden and have a nice cold one. Might actually have to pick some up on the way home. I just have some of my beer that's left over from my road trip. It's quite strong, so I only have that once in a while. Picked up some chocolate stout at Rogue Brewery in Newport, Oregon. It was $15 for a flat of 24. Can you believe that? Not even $1 each. And yeah, it's not like a sit down and drink a case kind of beer. It might even be a half a can beer. I was looking into it. There is a thing where you mix stout with milk, so I'm going to try that, see if I can cut down some of the bitterness. Maybe some of you out there are going, whatever, I'm going to try it. And yeah, tonight, what am I going to get? Maybe a craft beer. You know what? Old Beautiful. I'm going to see if I can find some Old Beautiful, because I missed that brewery. Burned down over a year ago now. Still can get their beer though, which is awesome. So, all right, off to daydream about beer. It's amazing how the mountains change as the day goes along. About 2 in the afternoon, 2:30, I think. Maybe later, I haven't checked. But I'm in the shade here, which is nice. A good chunk of this hike is actually through the trees, through like a single track. And which is really nice. Good thing to have in the morning, and then on your way back at night, you're partially in the shade. And then, ta-da, you're in the sun. And then, whoosha, you're in the dark. So, nice. Very nice walk to have. You're not totally in the sun. And it's been cool to see the clematis here, you see? The purple clematis here. Similar to the clematis I have growing at home. Which makes me wonder, is it native? Here it is again. You can see it here. Is it native, or somebody dropped seeds off on the side of the path? Right? Oh, there's a bunch up here too. Growing up through the brush. Just up through here is all purple. Oh, and there's more here too. Look at this. Here we go. Clematis. Growing up. See it there. Really pretty. This is what's in bloom at my house right now. I have this fence that's just absolutely covered. Goes over an arch. Go to my car. For a period of time, actually, my car park, where I park my car, I don't have a garage, was the most pretty garden place in my whole property. Because where there were some stones left, like a rock garden almost, just piled there. Plants started growing, so one year I went in there and I just pulled all the stones out. Not all of them, but yeah, I planted through it. So it just became this beautiful rock garden. But then some of the plants just exploded, and then all you saw were flowers all the way down. And the clematis goes by the back of the car, and then about 15, 20 feet the other way. And I started littering the yard with more and more clematis. So it's growing up kind of everywhere now. It's beautiful to see it here. And I'm so overloaded with seeds, it's incredible. So anybody that lives in Calgary, you want some clematis, shoot me a message, I can get you some. So I have bags of seeds actually, and they're just laying on the ground too. So, and I also have goji berry. Can you believe that? I have an explosion of goji berries. In fact, at one time it was about 50 feet in the air because it grew up into my Mayday tree, which I unfortunately had to take down. Well, I took itself several times. Finally, I just had to cut it. it rotted and broke and split. Good for me, luckily, it didn't hit the house. It landed in the fence, but it had a branch that stopped it from crushing the fence, so that's super lucky. All right, so I've just relearned something today. So today, 4-hour hike, but a lot of stops, right? A lot of photos and hanging out, drying my socks. And I'm probably, half an hour, maybe 40 minutes from trail line. Luckily in the trees, but 3 drops left there in my trusty water can, which is a liter. So reminder, note to self, 1 liter of water, not adequate for 4 hours and over. I figured it'd be 4 hours and out, in and out. Didn't really think about it. First hike for, maybe a month and a half, maybe a couple months. Not good. I know you think I'm probably out every weekend, but I'm not. I could be, and I might be. So, for anyone's familiar, I have a C-Class 26-foot camper that I bought 2 years ago. Normally I'd take a tent, that kind of deal. But something really beautiful about coming back to your camper and having a shower. It's actually really, really nice. So, so the thought is get the camper out and do some weekends, right? Like a day's drive within a few hour drive to Calgary, which doesn't sound far, except that some of the most spectacular scenery you'll ever see in the world is within 3-hour drive of my city. Pretty spectacular. So, and if you got a camper, you can go that little bit farther, right? And as you can stay overnight and maybe even drive a little bit in the morning or the night, right? And camp and do a whole of the trail. And then on your way back, maybe it's a 4 or 5 hour drive, but boom, you're home. So anyway, it's possible, doable. Thinking about long weekends, possibly, that kind of thing. So it'd be really nice to just be out here. I'm looking at all these people with their backpacks and hoping they know that it closes down here in 2 days. Hey guys. Hey. Oh, you hear that? Oh, I got a hello, sir. I'm a very young looking 20-ish. Yeah. Hot tub. I'm a hot tub. Feels like 30. Hey, so coming near the end of my hike here, right near the crossover that takes you to the parking lot. Past a lot of people going camping or coming back from camping, interesting enough, since the G8 closes everything, G7 closes everything down in 2 days. Well, 2.5 days, I guess. 2 and a bit. But one lady with her backpack on, did you go camping? She's like, yeah. She's like, questioning my life decisions right now. And, to the end of the walk and the hike, right? But I said to her, hey, that's what hiking is for, right? That's what going out here in nature and hiking is for. It's about questioning your life choices. Or rather, I said to her, well, that's what I do when I'm out here. I'm often walking and talking and doing videos as I go because kind of narrating, figuring out my life. And I'm kind of narrating my life in a way, I guess. But also working on things and also giving quality info about a lot of different things and working through things and sharing, which is the world we're in now, right? And I said, well, I started out by journaling, which I did. And I actually used to, I'm gonna stop here in the shade a bit, used to journal while I walked. So I'd hike here in just outside of Calgary in a place called Bragg Creek or West Bragg Creek, which has all these great trails. And I would text and then I just started dictating I started dictating into my phone and editing that. So I had all these, what I was hoping would become blogs, etc., which maybe they will down the road. I haven't done anything with that yet. But when I started getting into the video side of things and started to get more comfortable with the idea of having my own YouTube channel, and that started back when I was in Oregon, really started to click in when I was doing that road trip, which there'll be a video on that, multiple videos. And I'm really embracing this walk and talk, this whole idea of just turning on your camera, right? And how amazing it is. So I've gone from writing to journaling to texting to dictating, right? To from photography, lots of photography while I travel and do what I do. And ridiculous here. To videography. So I'm learning how to be a videographer and how to create my own YouTube channel. So I'm just gonna flip this around because, guys. I got out of the wind here a little bit. You can hear lots of voices around me. And a lot of people camped out on the side of the lake here, which is amazing. Got a couple of kayaks in the water. So you can hike all the way around this lake. So over on the left is a trail that goes all the way down. Now when you look just over the other side of the ridge here, that's where I was in the center of the screen on the other side of this little peninsula that comes out. And you can see the lake keeps going on beyond that peninsula. Some people in their rubber dinghy in the water. Got some paddle boarders. You can see here, this is where all the picnic tables are. Pretty sure they are first come, first served, but you'll see off in the trees in the distance, there's actually more picnic tables along the shore. And people go and they find their spot and set it up. The water line's a little lower. It's a little higher in the winter. They let it down a little bit this time of year. But just to give you an idea, even if you're not a hiker and you're not going to find yourself wanting to go all the way up to the top of that mountain, just Surreal Ridge, or all the way up to, you can see a line on the edge of this mountain here. The line, see the line going up on the right hand side? You can hike all the way up that, and that is one of the other hikes. You can actually hike to the center of frame here is where the waterfall is. You can actually hike into that distance, past those mountains, and actually end up in Canmore if you really want to. And up through the left here, this mountain break, that is a beautiful, beautiful hike. Goes up to a lake. There you go. So for those who are not maybe into hiking but love to get out into the outdoors and see the beauty that we have here, this is where you want to come. A lot of people come in the family and they camp out the side of the water and they set up their food camp setup and they're here all day. They enjoy the water. There is access for those who are less abled as well. So pretty great. Just to give you an idea off the map here, I was parked there at those two center dots right by the Interlakes north. And I hiked all along the lake here. And I ended up there where the bridge is, the Upper Kananaskis Falls. And you can see that on this map that the hike keeps on going and going. So I did an out and back. As you can see, you can walk a circle of the actual lake itself. There's a little peninsula I was pointing out a little earlier, juts out. And here are some other hikes. You can hike into another lake here. And last hike I did was over here to Hidden Lake. But there's all kinds of just amazing hikes to be had around here, which we'll have to put on hold for a little while they do the G7 summit here in Kananaskis. And you can see it's really, really close to Canmore and Banff. And I came down the Highway 40, and right there we see there's the Kananaskis village. That's where the G7 will be. We passed that. We came all the way down here to Peter Lougheed, and that's right smack in the middle of the beginning of the Canadian Rocky Mountains. There you go.